Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Todd and Julie Chrisley conviction brings Savannah and Lindsie together? Shockingly, it was Savannah's big sister Lindsie Chrisley that issued the first statement following Todd and Julie's conviction. As TV shows Ace previously reported, followers of the Chrisley family were struggling to make sense of Lindsie's statement. Many agreed that what Lindsie got on the stand and said at trial contradicted a lot of what she had previously said. Likewise, Lindsie was being awfully supportive of a family she had previously claimed she wanted nothing to do with. Did Julie and Todd Chrisley's conviction bring Lindsie back into the fold? Has this difficult time for the family mended Lindsie and Savannah's relationship? On an older episode of his podcast, Todd Chrisley opened up about Lindsie and Savannah. Todd talked about both young women being on social media. Savannah, however, had a little more of a knack for it, and her following grew faster. Todd suspected Savannah being more popular on social media was a hard pill for Lindsie to swallow. He also suspected this created some tension between Lindsie and Savannah. It was on June 8 that Lindsie Chrisley became the first member of the family to release a statement on social media. A little over a week passed before Savannah also issued a statement. She begged fans to be kind and admit she felt betrayed by God. Nearly a week later, Savannah took to Instagram a second time with another statement. In this statement, she asked for patience as she was on a journey to find herself. For years, fans of Chrisley Knows Best have watched the Chrisley family navigate the highs and lows of fame, fortune, and faith. But nothing could have prepared them for the storm that hit when Todd and Julie Chrisley were convicted on federal fraud charges. The reality TV family, once synonymous with Southern charm and laughter, found themselves facing one of the darkest chapters in their lives. Yet amid the heartbreak, chaos, and national headlines, something unexpected has quietly emerged. A fragile yet genuine reunion between Savannah and Lindsie Chrisley. For most fans, the relationship between the two sisters has been complicated, to say the least. Lindsie, Todd's daughter from his first marriage, had a famously rocky relationship with the family. She stepped away from Chrisley Knows Best years ago, claiming that the show's portrayal of their family dynamic wasn't her truth. Tensions escalated in public, social media jabs, podcast confessions, and interviews where both sides shared their pain. It seemed like the divide was too wide to ever bridge. But when Todd and Julie's convictions came down and the family's once picture-perfect life began to crumble, everything changed. A family torn apart and brought back together. When Todd and Julie reported to prison, Savannah, the couple's daughter and now caretaker to her younger siblings, found herself in an unimaginable position, holding together a family that had been splintered both by circumstance and by years of emotional distance. She quickly became the family's spokesperson, sharing updates on her Unlocked podcast, appearing on talk shows, and fighting publicly for her parents' appeal. Savannah's focus was on survival, for herself, for Grayson, and for Chloe, her younger niece whom she's now raising as her own. But even the strongest hearts crack under pressure. Behind the polished Instagram posts and brave interviews, Savannah was struggling. That's when Lindsie reached out. According to those close to the sisters, Lindsie's call wasn't dramatic or emotional, just quiet, simple, and real. She asked if I was okay, Savannah later admitted in a tearful podcast episode. It wasn't about the past, it wasn't about blame, it was just about being there. For the first time in years, the walls came down. Healing through heartbreak. Todd's and Julie's convictions may have fractured the Chrisley family's public image, but they also revealed something raw and undeniably human about them. That pain has a way of forcing people to reevaluate what truly matters. Lindsie and Savannah started reconnecting slowly, through texts at first, then long phone calls, and finally in-person visits. It wasn't easy. Years of hurt don't disappear overnight, but both women seem determined to rewrite their story. Lindsie has a very different way of processing emotions than I do, Savannah explained on her podcast. But when I stopped expecting her to be like me and just accepted her for who she is, it changed everything. We realized we were both just trying to survive in our own ways. In many ways, their reconciliation mirrored the larger journey the Chrisleys are on, from public spectacle to personal redemption. Lindsie's change of heart. Fans who followed Lindsie's independent ventures, her podcast Coffee Convos and later the Southern Tea, know she's been candid about her estrangement from the family. She once claimed that her father's fame made it hard for her to find her own identity. But after Todd's sentencing, Lindsie's tone began to episode of her podcast, she confessed, "No matter what's happened between us, they're still my family. You don't stop loving your parents just because things got messy. Sources close to Lindsie say that her own experiences, including a public divorce, co-parenting struggles, and intense online scrutiny, helped her understand what Savannah and the younger siblings were going through. "I know what it's like to feel like the world's watching you fall apart," she reportedly told a friend. "Sometimes that's when you realize who your people really are." And for the first time in years, her people once again included Savannah. Savannah's strength and her softening. Savannah has always been the family's warrior, fierce, outspoken, loyal to a fault. Since her parents' conviction, she's fought tirelessly to defend them, even as critics accused her of denial or privilege. But Savannah's recent openness about grief, anxiety, and forgiveness shows a more vulnerable side of her. "Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting," she told People magazine in a recent interview. "It means deciding that love matters more than anger." Those who know Savannah say that rebuilding her relationship with Lindsie has brought her peace she didn't know she needed. The two now talk frequently, exchange photos of the kids, and even joke about doing a future podcast episode together. Something fans would have thought impossible a year ago. The Chrisley family legacy, redefined. With Todd and Julie behind bars, the Chrisley legacy has entered a new, uncertain chapter. Gone are the days of glitzy real estate deals and primetime perfection. In their place is something quieter but perhaps more authentic. A family stripped of its filters, forced to confront who they really are. Savannah and Lindsie's reunion has become a symbol of that transformation. It's no longer about fame, forgiveness, or fan approval. It's about two sisters finding each other again in the ashes of a shared heartbreak. Even Nanny Faye, the family matriarch and the heart of Chrisley knows best, has spoken warmly about the healing. "I told those girls life's too short to hold grudges," she said in a recent clip. "Your daddy and mama need your prayers, and you need each other. That's what family is for." And in true Nanny Faye fashion she added, "Now quit crying and pass me my sweet tea." A glimmer of hope. It's easy to look at the Chrisley family today and see tragedy. The fall from grace, the public humiliation, the uncertainty of what comes next. But for those who've followed their journey from the beginning, there's also something undeniably hopeful about what's happening now. Savannah and Lindsie's reconciliation may not erase the past, but it hints at a future where forgiveness, not fame, defines the Chrisleys. As Savannah once put it, "Maybe this is what God wanted all along, for us to stop performing and start healing." Their parents' conviction may have broken their world apart, but it also gave them the space to build something new, something real. And in the quiet moments between pain and peace, two sisters are finally learning that love, in all its messy, complicated glory, might just be the most powerful redemption story of all.